his status, particularly that game against Salford in Challenge Cup earlier this year, where he kind of drove Leigh to victory. We've also seen him get a couple of sin binnings, a sin binning and a sending off in televised games this year. So that there's a bit of bite to him. But Castleford have needed a fullback. Matautia looks like a player who can cut it in this competition. What do you think? Do you think that's sensible and he's going to make a long-term impact?
Yeah, he can play all along the back line, I think, as well. He can play at centre. He was wearing number 4 for Leigh, so obviously he came over as a centre, but can play at fullback. People have been saying, "Oh, what about Q? What about Q?"
That was going to be my next question for you. So yeah, what about
he came
Q?
He came over to Sheffield as a standoff. So it's I know he's not played there for quite a few years, but he made his debut there against Warrington for Cass as a standoff, and
putting a man of the match performance.
Probably where he'll end up going. But yeah, he's or come off the interchange bench if like Matautia is having a bit of a shocker. But yeah, like you said, if he stays on the pitch, Matautia is going to be a good signing. Yeah.
So you still think that you don't think that this means that QLT will not get that longer term deal at Castleford that's been talked about for a while, but not quite got over the line?
Yeah, I think he might be playing for a contract, like a 1-year extension sort of thing. So it's it's going to be tough for him because obviously now he's got competition, and when the likes of other halfbacks come back as well, such as I don't know when Gale comes back if he's out for a while.
He should be back during the Super 8s, but there's I'm not sure about Roberts either. So there's opportunities in the halves as well, isn't there? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I won't mind if he comes back to Sheffield after the season. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it pans out. But like I said, with Q, you just expect the unexpected because he's just a miraculous player, really.
There's a lot of excitement around the Matautia sign, and I think Castleford have felt like they haven't really sorted that fullback problem out completely, partly probably because of QLT's experience has always been at the lower level, and he's quite an older player as well. So this is a 3-year deal for Matautia. So do you think this is them addressing that situation in the medium to longer term?
Yeah, you've got to think so, haven't you? I mean, it's a bit harsh. I think because they needed a quota spot, didn't they? They've ended up getting rid of Jai Hitchcox to Bradford, and he's got a superb record, to be fair, in Super League. So it's tough on him. But yeah, I think, like you say, it is really, they are addressing it, and it's a really good signing for him because like you say, he's cut in NRL, and he's showed good signs in the Challenge Cup games for Leigh, and also playing. He's like a bit of a fan's favourite there as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Obviously, he's not been entirely consistent in the NRL, otherwise he would still be there. But if he can bring any level of consistency to his performances in the Super League, this is a great signing for Castleford for the Super 8s. The final oh no, there's more. There's loads more. What am I on about? The next Leigh departure was forward Jordan Thompson, who's joined Leeds Rhinos on loan till the end of the season. The 26-year-old has joined the Central. See, look at that. He's 2 years younger than Charlie Gubb. Yeah, I feel like Jordan Thompson's been around forever. I think he started playing for Cass when he was like 16, though, didn't he? He joined the Centurions on a 2-year contract at the start of this year from Hull FC. But obviously, he's now taken an opportunity to stay in the qualifiers level of play, and Leeds needed bodies. Leeds have really struggled in the forward pack for injuries this year, and it doesn't look like they're ever fully going to resolve that. And when they've had people fit, there's people like Ferris and Ablett who haven't really been at the same level of form that they've shown in years gone by. So Leeds needed something, as shown last night when they got battered with an extra man by Salford. So what do you make of Jordan Thompson?
Yeah, from what I've seen, like what I was saying with Anson, it's just that it seems a very consistent player. Like no frills, just gets on with the game, and he's solid, and that's what Leeds are needing, I think, and especially coming into this qualifiers because they're going to come up against 3 full-time teams probably with Toronto, London, and Toulouse coming into the top 4 maybe. We don't know just yet, but so they are going to be tested with some big forward packs. So yeah, I think Thompson's a good pickup for him.
Okay, this is then the big merry-go-round that's ended the kind of Leigh section. Hull KR have signed for Craig Hall and centre Ben Crooks on loan from Leigh Centurions, with 3 players moving in the opposite direction. Hall, who's 30, spent 4 seasons in East Hull, scoring 42 tries in 80 games before joining Wakefield back in 2015. Ex-Hull FC player Crooks, who's 25, has 64 tries in 130 career appearances. Then going the other way, prop Jordan Waln, back rower Josh Johnson. I thought he was a prop, I don't know. Fullback Will Dagger. They moved to the Championship side, Leigh, so that because they've seen, they've needed to fill some spaces. Will Dagger's face hasn't really seemed to fit. Josh Johnson, I don't think is good enough for Super League level anyway, and I'm not really sure why Jordan Waln didn't get more of a go, but Hull KR have seen him surplus to requirements. And then Craig Hall and Ben Crooks both played big parts, especially in the first half in the Hull derby. Not to concentrate on that too much, but coming in and not really having spent time with the rest of the team, it's lucky that they'd spent time playing together already this year. For Leigh, do you think that on balance improves Hull KR, and do you think it addresses something for Leigh that can still make them feel like they've got an enjoyable team to watch as they roll on towards the Shield final? Yeah,
definitely so. Yeah, for the Shield final, no one cares about really. No one wants to win it because it's pointless. Really, they're going to be played 7 weeks and no one.
Sheffield lost it twice, so that's why you say it's pointless.
Just sour grapes for me. But it's a good move for both sides, really. I mean, obviously we saw what Hall and Crooks could do. I think because Tim Sheens just talked to Craig Hall, the coach, and they were like, just go out there and have a good game and stuff. And probably didn't know he could kick goals until he kicked one from halfway line, Danny Richardson-esque. So, I mean, that first try that they scored, obviously Crooks won the goal line dropout with a great tackle on Jamie Shaw, and then Hall ended up scoring from it. So I'm sure there were plenty of Leigh fans with their heads in their hands, really, because it was a good touch from Craig Hall as well to say thanks to Leigh as well in the Man of the Match interview as well. So, good move.
It's amazing for Craig Hall to have kind of almost not really given up, but apparently appearances-wise given up on Super League by going down to League One, then staying in the Championship. But now it didn't seem like he wasn't capable of still slipping straight back in and playing Super League. And Ben Crooks, to me, is a Super League level talent. It was disappointing that he wasn't given the opportunity to be signed by anyone for this season in Super League. So I think it's good that he's back at the level he probably belongs at, even though he's going to be in the qualifiers at this stage. I think it gets him a chance to show that he belongs in Super League.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Salford have signed Australian hooker Joey Lussick from the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles for the rest of the 2018 season. The 22-year-old scored a try on his NRL debut against St George Illawarra Dragons last year and has played for the Australian schoolboys team. So a talent, littler brother in every sense of Darcy Lussick, who's at the Toronto Wolfpack. I don't know anything about this kid. If you do, Dan, let me know. Otherwise, Salford need bodies, and that's as simple as that.
I know he made like you said on his debut, he scored for Manly. I just know, obviously, the Australia schoolboys team, there's been so many big players come out of there. Obviously, I think Latrell Mitchell won a few years ago when we were playing against the England Academy. So, he's probably just fills the gap. Obviously, Ian Watson saw a gap in his squad, needed to fill it, and he's got someone for it.
Well, if I'm right, Salford have used the second fewest amount of players in Super League this season, yet every single time I've seen the team sheet I've felt like it's been compromised by injuries, so that shows the lack of depth they've had. So that's why they've needed to bring people in. I understand that there's still possibly a deal to maybe get confirmed with Jansen Turgott, who was allowed to leave Hull FC yesterday, but I've not seen that confirmed anywhere yet. So the last piece of Super League signing news that's been confirmed is new Huddersfield signing Suia Matungi, who will be joining the Giants ahead of schedule, coming over for the Super 8s instead of for the 2019 campaign as originally planned. He'll now arrive in Huddersfield this week. Big bloke, adds to them. They're the team that feels like have got a chance of cracking that top four, if anyone.
Yeah, Simon Wolfer could do no wrong at the minute, so obviously quite a lot of the Giants fans are happy about this because it's another one of his signings, one of his men coming over, and you'd expect him to make a big impact because I think someone said on Twitter he got a similar try record to Ikehefo, so obviously Sebastian Ikehefo has been doing really well, has done really well for Huddersfield, so
if you've got another bloke who's like him that you can sort of rotate with him, you don't lose that. Yeah. And now, Young English has been good and is giving him an impetus on many occasions, but not for the full 20 minutes of most of his spells. So having someone who can come off the back of Ikehefo or vice versa and give that dynamic barrel bowling ball kind of approach and scattering defenders, I think that's only going to be good for Huddersfield. Right, into the division that you love so dearly, and it's time to talk about some championship moves. The first one to talk about relates to the club we just mentioned, and it's Halifax have secured the services of utility back Sam Wood on loan for the remainder of the season from the Huddersfield Giants. Wood, who's 21 and came through the Giants scholarship programme, made his first team debut back in 2016. He's played 6 times in Super League. He scored a try and 4 goals. I think that try came earlier this season in one of his appearances. Tall, lanky player who can play across the back line, gives them some good coverage across all those positions. Definitely,
yeah. And you said 21 years old, but he's got experience Championship and League One, if I remember right. He's been around. He's been playing.
He's been on loan at Huddersfield Giants' dual reg partners Workington, I think. Earlier this year.
If he were I don't know, he were at somewhere else, I think a couple of years ago as well. But yeah, he's like I said, he's got that experience anyway, so should be a good pickup for him. I think he might be. Oh no, he's not. I know the two that will be coming to, Bolwinson and Cooper, they're playing for the reserve team today. So yeah, they're already in.
Right. Yeah. Well, we might as well. I kind of put them in the order that they happened, but Halifax, we should talk about them in terms of clubs rather than the order that they happened. Halifax have taken forwards Jordan Baldwinson and Liam Cooper on loan for the rest of the 2018 season from Wakefield, Trinity and St Helens respectively. Like you say, they've jumped straight into the squad. Jordan Baldwinson is a player who can play in the qualifiers for Halifax if they do confirm making that position tomorrow, and is a player who I think they've got every confidence is a plug and play kind of bloke. Liam Cooper, I don't know very much about. Back rower, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been at Whitehaven this season. He had a couple of games, I think, for the Eagles last year when we were at Wakefield. Whitehaven fans are really disappointed to see him go, especially the coach Carl Forster as well. I covered a Whitehaven game when I were up in Sunderland, still studying. They were playing Newcastle Thunder, and he was a standout. Whitehaven lost that day, but he was a standout by a mile for Whitehaven. So yeah, he'll be wanting to have a good crack at the qualifiers if he gets the chance.
Baldwinson is an interesting character in terms of, I feel like he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods, as the saying goes. He's basically only spent half a season at any team in the last 4 years.
Yeah, he's been around, hasn't he? Yeah.
Do you think maybe a top end championship club is maybe the level he needs to address himself at now to rebuild his career, maybe find somewhere where he can be consistently selected, because he's not had that at Wakefield, he didn't have that at Leeds, he didn't have that at Leigh when he went on loan there, he didn't have it bloody hell, where else at Bradford he played a bit.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. Yeah, I think for me, for every time I've seen him, I think he is a Super League level player, but he's just, I think he might just be unlucky. I think it's just been shifted out of the side. Maybe more experienced players have been in front of him. So, yeah, I think Halifax is a great fit for him. And Richard Marshall, he was England Academy boss. I don't know whether he played. Baldwinson played under Marshall for that team when he was there. But
possibly, yeah.
You can't go wrong if you're wanting a coach to bring through young players in the Championship. I think Richard Marshall's picking a bunch in the coaches.
Okay, a deal that interests me. Toulouse have taken 20-year-old centre Arthur Romano on loan from the Catalan Dragons until the end of the season. Romano has played a couple of times for the Dragons in the first team, but he's also played a few times for France as well. And I think he's a talented kid. I think he's got what it takes to do something. So it'll be interesting to see, because they've been kind of scratching around for a second centre all year of Toulouse, in reality, with a few loan signings along the way. So I think that's an interesting one for them. Another French move is young French prop Saloti Mendy joins Barrow until the end of the season as the Raiders' third recent signing on loan from the Catalan Dragons. I don't know anything about him, but Barrow need bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know much either. I know the two that they have signed before him played against Sheffield last week. I think that were the debuts, the winger and a forward
yeah.
had a really good game. The winger didn't get too much ball, to be honest, which surprised me really, because obviously red hot conditions and the OLP lends itself to playing out wide really, because it's such a wide pitch. So
pitch and fast track, yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't get much ball, and obviously